Hey everyone, welcome back. You're listening to Gamer Girls Radio, and we're powered by the amazing folks over at thepinkcontroller.com.
Hey, yeah, seriously, if you need some awesome gamer merch, definitely check them out.
Absolutely. Okay, so today we have got some huge GE news dropping from the world of The Witcher. Just massive stuff hitting our desks.
Oh yeah, we couldn't wait to jump on this. We've been looking at a couple of really key things.
Right.
First, transcript bits from that brand new The Witcher 4 cinematic reveal trailer, the one that just hit The Witcher's YouTube.
Epic. And what else?
And also some excerpts from this really detailed article. It's called The Witcher 4 Unreal Engine 5 Tech Demo Showcase. Lots of juicy tech details there.
Okay, cool. So our mission today, folks, is to basically cut through everything, pull out the really important bits from these sources, and figure out what it actually tells us about the next Witcher game.
Yeah, we want to unpack the story hints, look at the tech side, which sounds kind of mind-blowing, and really, what does it all mean for you when you finally get to play it?
Exactly. Let's get into it. And hey, while you're listening, if you like what you hear, give us a like, maybe drop a comment, and definitely subscribe for more gaming news.
Please do. Okay, so where do we start? That cinematic trailer.
Let's do it. So the sources are pretty clear from the get-go.
Yeah.
This thing is pre-rendered, right? Made using Unreal Engine 5.
Mm-hmm. And get this, it was apparently running on an unannounced NVIDIA GeForce RTX GPU when they showed it off.
Whoa! Okay, so they're flexing a bit right out of the gate. High visual standard incoming.
Definitely signaling that. But the story hints, wow.
Tell me about it. It opens with this voice, like a really warm, almost parental, talking to a dearest daughter.
Yeah, and it's all this beautiful language, praising her, growth, grace, wisdom, kindness, heart of gold, her spirit. It sounds lovely, but also kind of final.
Yeah, like a moment before something big happens.
Yeah.
And there's that line tucked in there, that piece of wisdom.
Oh, the 'tis how we rise to face the hard times what shapes us.
That's the one. It's a classic Witcher, right? It's all about how struggle defines you, not the easy wins. Really lands the tone of that world.
It totally does, but then, the mood shifts big time.
Right. The same voices. Sweden, today's the day you fill out your destiny. Destiny, that's a heavy word.
Super heavy.
Yes.
What destiny? Like, is it a good destiny? A bad one? We don't know.
Exactly. Because right after that, the voice goes, "Forgive me, daughter, 'twere my only choice," and bam, conflict. Sounds like trouble.
Yeah, it feels like whatever this destiny is, it involves some kind of sacrifice, maybe? Something the parent figure had to, force.
And you hear the daughter, she sounds like she wants to save the village, feels chosen, anointed.
But then others are just yelling at her to get out. Go, now!
Run! Away, Witchy! For your meddling kills us all! It sounds panicked, desperate.
It sets up this really interesting clash, doesn't it? You've got people talking about tradition, chosen she is by the gods, and the ritual works. Like, there's this faith element.
But then the daughter sees herself as chosen, sure. But is it by gods? Or is it like that other line says, you chose her? Is it a human choice? Maybe manipulation.
That's the conflict. Tradition versus maybe her own path. Or a path forced on her by people, not gods. Saving the village versus just saving herself.
And then you hear the chaos, the fighting. And that line, oh man, that line.
Which one?
There are no gods here, there are only monsters. Just boom, gut punch.
Right, it just completely undercuts that whole chosen by the gods thing.
What do you think that line even means in this context?
Well, it could be literal. Maybe the world is actually godless, just full of monsters and awful stuff. Or maybe it's just someone who's seen too much horror, lost all faith.
So if there are no gods, then being chosen means nothing. Or
Right.
something else.
Exactly. Maybe salvation, if it's even possible, has to come from human action or just sheer strength against the monsters. It makes her fight feel way more personal and grim.
Definitely paints a picture.
And then the big reveal.
The title, The Witcher the Fourth. Finally confirmed. Ooh, about time. And they point you to thewitcher.com for more info down the line.
So for you listening, how does that trailer make you feel? What are you thinking about these characters, this daughter figure?
What choices do you think she's going to face in a world where there are apparently only monsters, no gods? It feels like a setup for a really intense personal story.
Against this backdrop of tradition and harshness, super compelling.
Okay, so that's the story tease, right? Awesome setup. But how are they actually going to build a world big enough and detailed enough for that kind of journey?
Now we get to the tech stuff.
Yeah.
That second source, the Unreal Engine 5 Tech Demo Showcase from Unreal Fest Orlando.
Right, tell us about that.
So this wasn't just eye candy. The source makes it clear. The whole point was to show how CD Projekt Red and Epic Games are actually working together to push UE5.
Pushing it how?
Specifically for making these huge, dense open worlds, it's a real partnership. They're not just licensing the engine, they're co-developing features for it.
Oh, interesting. So they're tailoring it to CDPR's needs.
Exactly, for their specific approach to open world design. And check this out, they showed the demo running on a PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Had a rock.
At 60 frames per second.
No way. For a huge open world? That's impressive, especially this early.
Totally. And the source says the tech is built for all the platforms. The game's coming to PC, PlayStation, Xbox. So that 60 FPS target is, well, a good sign.
That's really promising. Okay, what did the demo actually show?
Get ready for this. The protagonist in the demo
Yeah.
confirmed to be Ciri.
Finally. People have been asking for that forever.
Right, and she was with her horse, Kelpie. It really feels like they're kicking off a new saga with her. Gerald's story felt done.
It makes perfect sense. Did they show where she was?
Yeah, it seems the demo was set in Kovir.
Kovir. We haven't really seen much of Kovir in the games, have we?
Not really, no. So, new territory to explore. The demo apparently showed Ciri and Kelpie going through rugged mountains, really dense forests, and even into a port town called Valdrest. Sounds diverse.
Okay, so Ciri in Kovir. Sounds amazing. What about the specific UE5 tech they talked about? Any cool buzzwords?
Oh, plenty. They mentioned the Unreal Animation Framework. That's basically about making character movements look super realistic, even in big crowds. So, no more janky NPCs, hopefully.
Nice. What else?
This thing called fast geostreaming, that's one of the things CDPR and Epic are working on together. It's all about making the environment load in super fast and smooth as you're, like, riding Kelpie through the world.
So less pop-in, like trees suddenly appearing.
Exactly. Bye-bye, immersion-breaking pop-in, hello, smooth exploration. Then there's Nanite foliage.
Nanite. I've heard of Nanite. That's for detail, right?
Yep. But specifically for foliage here, it lets them create incredibly dense forests, fields, like really overgrown areas, packed with detail, but without killing performance.
Okay, that sounds huge for the feel of the world, like proper, dense forests, not just a few sparse trees.
Totally. Makes exploration feel way more real. They also mentioned the mass system for handling big, dynamic crowds.
The bustling cities.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger battles.
Could be. An ML deformer for adding subtle stuff, like how muscles move under clothes. It's all about adding layers of realism.
Wow. It sounds like they're really focusing on making the world feel alive and detailed without sacrificing that smoothness.
That seems to be the goal. And the partnership itself is key. CDPR is helping build these tools with Epic.
And you said these tools will be available to other developers.
That's what the source says. They're testing them in The Witcher 4th, and then they'll release them for all Unreal Engine devs, starting with UE 5.6.
That's actually really cool for the whole industry.
Yeah. Mike Nowakowski, CDPR's joint CEO, was quoted saying their goal is to push open-world game technology forward. He called the 60 FPS on PS5 a significant milestone, but also said they're far from finished.
Ambitious.
And Tim Sweeney, Epic's founder, called CDPR one of the best open-world studios, the perfect partner to help build these features that everyone using Unreal and eventually benefit from.
Okay, so bringing this tech talk back to earth for everyone listening, what does nanite foliage and fast geo streaming actually mean for you when you're playing?
It means you can probably expect a world that feels way bigger, denser, and more seamless than ever before. Riding through Kovir should feel incredibly immersive. Less waiting for stuff to load, more detail everywhere you look.
So a world that feels more solid, more present.
Yeah, exactly. More physically there and responsive.
Okay, let's pull it all together then. What are the absolute confirmed takeaways from these sources?
All right, number one, the game is officially The Witcher 3 4th, single-player, open-world RPG from CD Projekt Red.
And the protagonist.
Confirmed via the tech demo, it's Ciri. We're starting a new saga with her.
Awesome, and it's built on
Unreal Engine 5, with specific enhancements being co-developed with Epic Games to push open-world tech.
And the goal is
To make this CDPR's most immersive and ambitious open-world Witcher game yet. Which, you know, given their history with Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, that's saying something.
definitely. They know how to build these worlds. And the sources mentioned checking thewitcher.com and their socials for updates.
Yep, the official website, X, Bluesky, Facebook. Keep an eye on those channels.
Okay, so quick recap for everyone. New Saga, The Witcher the Fourth. Ciri is our lead. We might be heading to places like Kovir. And it's all running on some seriously beefed up Unreal Engine 5 tech designed for massive, immersive open worlds. CDPR is aiming really high.
It sounds incredibly exciting, the narrative potential with Ciri, plus the tech foundation. It looks really promising.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. You've got the trailer hinting at destiny, choice, this grim world with only monsters, no gods. And then you've got the tech demo promising this unprecedented scale, detail, and immersion. So how do you think Ciri's personal journey, her quest to fill out your destiny, might be shaped by the fact that the world itself is going to feel so vast, so detailed, and potentially so brutal because of this tech?
That's a great question. Like, if the world is truly godless, just full of monsters, literal and maybe metaphorical, what does salvation even mean for her? Does she have to rely on her own powers, her wits, something darker? Especially in a world where maybe old ideas of faith just don't apply anymore.
Right. What does being a hero look like in that kind of world, built with this kind of tech? Lots to chew on.
Definitely leaves you thinking.
Well, thank you so much for unpacking all that with us today. It was super interesting digging into the details.
My pleasure. Always fun to speculate about the next big thing, especially The Witcher.
And hey, listeners, don't forget to check out thepinkcontroller.com for awesome gamer stuff. Thanks again for tuning in to Gamer Girls Radio.
Catch you next time.